it to them. Everything was done by the book, clean and smooth.
Dean did well, Commander.
Thank you, sir.
But we are still not sure you can protect us this time. Under this blanket of darkness, this thing has befallen on us.
Sir, I can assure you if we can't, no one can.
Let's hope so, for humanity's sake, Commander.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Hit the Dice, the most metal actual play that doesn't have its own house band. I'm SM Hillman, Sean Hillman, you know me. I'm just here to introduce, get the ball rolling. We have some Goni now has some great shows this week, so check those out. And tonight we are playing part 2 by popular demand. Of Cryptid Capture Core. I think we're going to actually do 4 eventually, but that's for the future. Tonight, well, I will let the GM tell you what's up for tonight, and while I disappear like a cryptid. Have fun, everyone.
Thank you.
We always knew you were a skinwalker, Sean.
We may have to write something about that. All right. So this is our second adventure with Team Charlie. We'll get started with their mission momentarily. Let's just go around for a minute and introduce Team Charlie. We're going to start with Misty and just go around and introduce everybody. And I guess I'll introduce myself after the last person in Team Charlie introduces themselves.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Misty Massey. I'm the author of the Mad Kestrel series of pirate fantasy adventures. I'm an editor for Falstaff Press and for Mocha Memoirs Press. And tonight I am playing Jazz Billhook. I drive everything that needs driving. I fix everything that needs fixing. They couldn't do anything without me. So.
Right. Let's move on. Jim, I think you're next.
Oh, you keep moving me around.
I know.
Thanks, cuz. I'm Jim Nettles. I write science fiction, urban fantasy, some horror, some contemporary. Right now, the new stuff is going to be a cozy mystery series. I also do a lot of nonfiction as well. I'm one of the founders over at the Continual Convention, where we do a bunch of stuff online, just like what you see over here. And have podcasts, have a bunch of other stuff, and create a little bit of mayhem here and there. And tonight I will be Captain Emery Turrets, where if it needs killing, I do the killing or blowing it up or something. If nothing else, I'm a distraction.
Right. All right, Tiffany, I think you're up.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Vega. I write in a bunch of genres. Matter of fact, I have a story in one of my books about the cryptid we're looking for today. So if you like a little bit of horror and cryptid, you should check out some of my books. Oh, and I'm playing Emily McDonald, and I do mythology and folklore.
Okay, Sarah.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah, a.k.a. SG Tosh. I write urban fantasy and contemporary magical mysteries. And I will be playing Dr. Pamela Drake, once again, a biologist and a Harvard alum. A little bit off her game since she's been just finishing up a 3-day drug trial for a new psychedelic mushroom sort of thing, because that is one of her strengths. And she's real nervous about what's about to happen. So she doesn't like the Mothman so much. She likes creatures that she can capture. And this one's a little bit too ethereal for her liking. So she's pretty uncomfortable with what's about to happen.
Cool. All right, and I'm Jessica Nettles. I'm the author of Children of Menlo Park. I write steampunk and Southern Gothic horror. And I am command tonight. And so we're going to get started. And as you probably figured out, we're going to go and Team Charlie is going to face the Mothman. I'm excited. Woo!
Moth.
All right.
Moth, you look at them funny and they explode into dust. I'm not afraid.
No, I know this story. I know this moth. I've heard it before. I'm excited about this moth.
The thing for me is the statue that's in the middle of Mount Pleasant, and Pleasant has a well sculpted rear end. I know pictures a friend of mine keeps sending every time they go through.
I was noticing that when I went through I did some research and I'm like, I wonder if they actually saw, when they saw the Mothman, did they see his butt that way? I mean, was he really that well sculpted? I just really want to know these things. All right. So, Team Charlie has been pulled back together after a brief intermission in their work. They've been doing separate things, but they've been called back together by the CCC. Agents have come across a reported sighting of the Mothman in Point Pleasant. It's the first time in a while that he's been seen. And if you're familiar with the Mothman, usually when he shows up, there's a catastrophe. So the folks in Point Pleasant who are making these reports are wanting you guys to come out and check it out, and they want you to do it fast because they're really afraid of what might happen, because catastrophe usually follows the old Mothman. So you are going to, let's see, can I present on this thing? Yeah, I can. Okay, so let's see, I have a map. I'm going to have to pull it back. Let's pull it back. I think. Here we go. I think. Okay, this is not. Okay. So y'all will be landing in the local airport. Here we go. Didn't know what I was looking at. Okay. Share screen.
If I remember right, the local airport there has a tire care center, a sushi bar, and oh wait.
Oh, how cool. Okay, I did not know that.
Am I doing the flying?
I would assume you are, because you can fly and drive everything. So it's Mason County Airport 312. It's a little small airport, but it has a sushi bar. So, hey, you can't go too wrong with that.
As long as you're good with fried catfish, it's sushi.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They might have some eel, too. I mean, they are close to a river. You are probably like, you're not right in Point Pleasant, but you're within like maybe 5 or 6 miles from the center of Point Pleasant. If you looked at your folders that was provided by Command, you'll know some of the history just a little bit. Point Pleasant is a city of around about 4,300 people. It is the home of the Mothman Museum. Let me just pull the screen. I'll close this. Okay, stop that. It's the home of the Mothman Museum, which is kind of cool. It is a storefront, which is really funny. Where is it? Well, heck, where'd it go? There we go. Is the storefront inside? Well, I guess it's not sharing. Okay. And it's really strange because, I mean, it's just strange because it looks like a storefront. There it is. And of course, there is the Mothman statue that has a really, really built butt. I mean, they also have a Mothman festival. They also have a Mothman festival every year. I mean, they really make this a big part of their town. It's kind of a funny thing. But the cool thing about the Mothman Museum is that it has a lot. One of the things in your folders explain that if you want to know something about Mothman, the museum is the place to go. It has records. It has documentation. It has newspaper clippings. It has everything, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
So we're here to screw up the tourist industry.
Yeah, basically. Also, you will notice on the map that you are close to a place called McClintock Wildlife Management Area. The McClintock Wildlife Management area is called by the locals the TNT area. The TNT area is well known if you know the story of the Mothman. That was where he was first spotted back in the 60s. And what's cool about the TNT area is that it's a huge wildlife area. You can actually camp there. You might want to consider, your group might want to consider setting up base in the wildlife area because it's big enough that if you wanted to stay hidden, you actually could.
Okay.
So something to consider.
Do we have our van here?
When you arrive, if you're flying, when you arrive, your van will be at the airport. Yes.
Okay.
With all supplies, if you need any supplies, the supplies are there. It's all provided. We've got you covered.
Okay.
Flamethrowers.
We
That
don't
is not
want to
a
set the
supply,
wildlife.
Jim.
Command will say we're not here to set the wildlife preserve on fire. Point Pleasant wants to keep it intact. They
Call
still
the fire
want to have
department.
festivals.
Let me know when I'm done.
We know you want to blow up things. The wildlife management area is about 3,600 acres. A little bit of history, just because we can provide it, and we're awesome. It was once a munition dump. That's why it's called the TNT area for the Army during World War II. This is where most of the sightings of the Mothman have happened, which I think is kind of interesting. As out of game, I think it's fascinating. You know, why would he just appear there? Don't know. And there's no real explanation for it either. So, all right. But your report also says that a married couple named Gerald and Opal Williams were out fishing in the TNT near Point Pleasant. When a creature swooped so low, they had to jump out of their boat to get away. So you'll want to go find Gerald and Opal first. Once you guys get landed and get settled, go find them first and talk to them about what they saw, and go from there. So that's your first mission. Go
All right.
find them.
Okay.
So are y'all going to grab sushi for lunch before we go, or are we going to hit the ground going?
I haven't eaten anything but
I
water
think
and
it's fair
salads. I'm not eating fish.
Not eating fish. Okay. They may have hamburgers, on the
I'm
kids'
still getting
menu.
my system back to
Oh, I see. Let's see. I'll do a little bit of Let's see. There's the Mothman. Let's see. Place where to eat in Point Pleasant. So one of you looks around. There's a Rio Bravo. There's a China House.
Ooh, Rangoons.
Oh yeah. It's 4.7 stars, so it's probably pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that going to be our bowling alley hot dogs like last time?
Yeah, there's also Gina's Pizza and Spaghetti House. I mean, yeah, you could drive down to Point Pleasant. One of you looks up TripAdvisor looking for something to eat. There's Tom Tom's. It's American and it looks like a little dump. The food is probably it looks like it's pretty good.
Last I heard, tauntauns smell worse on the inside than outside. So.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of that. There's Dino's Pizza. There's Tudor's Biscuit World. That might be
Nothing could go wrong with a good biscuit.
I know.
Sounds like I could eat that. Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all land and it's still morning, so you could go get a biscuit.
Sure, let's go do that, and then we can talk to Gerald and Opal.
Okay.
Are they ready?
And
they're expecting.
Are they
us?
what?
Are they expecting us?
Since they're part of the report, they're kind of expecting you.
Okay.
I won't say. Well, let's wait until you guys have your breakfast, then go and meet them. But yeah, they're kind of expecting you.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
Might not be
Since they called us, yeah,
okay,
and reported it.
Well, everybody in the van.
Yep.
Did we decide where we're going?
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Biscuit. Okay.
Biscuit World.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Biscuitville.
Tom Tom's Biscuit. Let's see if I can find a good picture of it.
I don't know if we're
killing
going
me.
to
I-
Pull it up for us.
far north.
Yeah, I'm not going to get one probably, but it's still funny.
Tudor's.
Alright. Oh, Tudor. Okay, Tom Tom's. Oh, Tudor's Biscuit World. Excuse me. Let's see a photo. Oh, okay. Here we go.
I don't remember the
I can pull
Tudors
up
eating biscuits, but
I don't either, but
Wait, that's in West Virginia. Are we in West Virginia or New Jersey?
we're in
Virginia.
We're in West Virginia.
Okay.
We're in West Virginia.
For
You were a
some
little confused. We are not. We are
We
not
have done in New Jersey.
in New
y'all,
Jersey this
everybody
time.
get on the plane.
we're not in New Jersey anymore.
We were, but not now.
I landed at the wrong place.
That's
Anything's a
okay.
good reason to get out of New Jersey.
Mm.
So it looks.
Okay.
I can't pull up a good picture. So it looks on the outside. You pull up, and it looks like this little barn-like building with a little porch in front of it, and it has a yellow sign that says Tudor's Biscuit World. And underneath the yellow sign is a white sign that says "Dine in, baked tater with sweet tea or coffee, $6.99." There you go. And yeah, it's got a little tiny parking lot. I mean, it looks like your usual little mom and pop kind of thing.
Oh my God, the menu, y'all. You're killing me. I can't look at this. Oh,
Maybe it's
wow.
something.
It really looks good.
I know.
I want to go to West Virginia now.
I was looking at the website too, going, "Oh my God, I can't."
I
They've
know,
got all
right?
kinds of things. Yeah, I mean, and the
Ah.
biscuits are beautiful. We're doing an ad for them now.
We
They've
really
even got
are.
pastries and stuff.
Sponsorship.
So yeah,
Can we get a sponsorship deal?
Yeah.
yeah, they're going to be talking about us later on. So you get breakfast. whatever plans you want to make, you can make.
Jazz buys a couple extra biscuits to put in her pocket for later.
Sounds like a plan.
You never know.
I want to
I'd
get a
do
bacon
it.
cheese biscuit, and then I want to roll to make sure I don't get sick.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Go ahead. Please don't get sick.
Oh my god, I rolled 2 ones.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I guess you got sick. Oh
Somebody
no!
dose her off before
in
you
the
get in the
parking lot.
van.
Oh, you totally got sick. Okay, so
It's a good thing they paid me really well for that study, though.
oh wow. Okay, so
I'll hand you a rag and a bottle of water. Wash
Thank
your mouth
you.
out. You're welcome.
oh my gosh. So the real
All right,
question
so
is,
not
did
ready
she
to
get
use
sick
food
at the table? I hope not.
That's up to you, I suppose.
Um.
I mean, that was two
Well,
nat
it's a
ones.
double
I mean,
one.
It was 2 failures, yeah.
Oh, okay. So what happened is you started getting sick. You had enough presence of mind to get up, but you didn't quite make it.
Oh no, okay.
So yeah. So the
Alright.
waitresses are helping you. Poor thing.
Poor
It's,
waitress.
yeah, one of the waitresses is commenting on having to be careful about drinking all night and that kind of thing. She's been there, done that.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't explain what's going on. I just say,
It's better not
yeah,
to.
you're
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
good advice.
All right.
it's better
So
than being pregnant with the Mothman's baby.
It's true.
Yeah.
Probably.
there might be
Maybe.
some whispers about that later on. Who knows?
I hate the Mothman.
He's like one of my favorite cryptids. So
I
I
know, mine too. This is fully my character being this way. Like, the Mothman's great, but
okay.
she's a biologist. Like, this is freaking her out. Ghosts
So
or not.
We just
The
need to
camera's
get into
outside.
all
I figure maybe we can go ahead.
Oh,
Her
Oh.
internet was acting.
her internet's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So suddenly Jazz goes to the van to get some extra help, see if there's any meds or something. Oh, she's back.
She just can't handle seeing people get sick, and she's just
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we should split up. Some of us go talk with the couple, and maybe some of us find a camping spot.
I think that's a smart idea.
All right.
But
I'll go check out
that's-
the camping
Okay.
instead of a defensive perimeter.
Okay.
I
So let's see.
I would also like to go to the campsite since we're going to the TNT, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to go look at the location and see if there's anything that, my expertise can, I can test, or if I can see anything physical.
Okay. So let
Also, I
me
don't want to throw up in front of these people.
Okay,
They're
so-
probably freaked out enough.
Okay. Let me get something to actually write with. Where'd my pencil go?
Okay, and I'll go interview the couple.
Okay. So Tiffany is interviewing the couple. Interview. And then the captain and Doc are going camp. And I suppose Jazz is going to the camp as well because she's got to drive.
Yeah,
That's okay. That's fine.
I would assume.
All right. Alrighty, we'll just do it that way. And so let me just check and see what's going on here for a minute.
She's in the chat. She says she's driving.
I guess
Okay,
I'll
super.
Uber to the couple's house. There I am.
Okay. So so you have the address, and luckily Point Pleasant is pretty walkable. I mean, downtown is, and they're close to downtown. So It's pretty walkable. You walk past the statue, and you walk past the museum, which is a storefront.
Okay.
I still think that's funny. It's like I was expecting a
chocolate.
standalone building, and it's a storefront. So you walk past the storefront, and it's like it's draped with the whole Mothman sign, and I don't think it opens till like 10 or 11. So
Okay.
but you can look in the windows if you want to as you walk by.
I do. I'll
Okay.
keep the windows.
Yeah, same.
So it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of you can see the displays from the window, where they show like things like there's some newspaper clippings in the displays. There's also some really interesting, like, you can tell people have made like statues and images of the Mothman in different ways, and it's almost comical sometimes. They also have an area where they sell. It's obvious they're selling things to tourists, so it's a little campy, but it's also kind of interesting because it's obvious they're interested in the history of whatever this thing is, and they take it about half seriously.
A lot of the stuff is like a joke, but there are some serious newspaper clippings, books.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting dichotomy, really. It has kind of the same feel that Area 51 in Roswell in New Mexico has. That same kind of thing of, this is really whimsical, but there might be something going on here.
Okay.
And we're not sure, but we're willing to go along with it. And hey, it makes money too, so why not?
Okay.
So you head on down, and you come to this. It's an older house. It kind of fits in with the area of Mount Pleasant you're in. And Mount Pleasant,
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant. Why do I keep saying Mount Pleasant? I know why. Never mind.
Because Jim said it first and messed you
I
up.
said it first because I
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Point Pleasant.
blame me.
It's got that old, kind of southern country kind of town feel to it. So you've got these houses that are like almost farmhouses, but not quite. They're in town, but you've seen them, This one's white, and it has a little fence in front of it, and it has a little porch with iron rails. So it's from like maybe the 40s or 50s. It's kind of cute. And they're an older couple. So
How old are we talking about? 60s, 70s, 80s?
60s, 70s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I'm playing them anyway. And yeah, so it's a cute little house. There's flowers, typical little house, right? Well kept though. What do you do?
All right, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
So a lady comes to the door, and she's got like a cute little bob. It's and it's gray, and she opens the door and goes, "I know you were coming. You must be those folks from the Corp. I really am tired of answering questions. They've asked us so many questions because the agents have already been there, right? The other agents have already been there. We've told them everything. I don't know what else you need to know. But come in."
So before I answer her, agents as in like police agents?
Y'all, other folks from the Corps have been there because that's where you got the report. So they came on the initial call
Okay.
and took some notes.
And
it's obvious that they have questioned them to the point of
exhaustion.
Okay,
So do we have access to those notes? Can we look them up?
you have notes, and the notes, for all they're worth, they're really spare.
They're really spare. Okay.
Yeah, they're not great. And I'm even saying that from a command point of view.
Okay.
Not much.
Right. Back to her.
Whoever did this report sucks.
They need to be fired.
They need to be fired.
Interns, I swear, interns.
Yeah, it looks like new agents, and they're just like really like just not much. So basically,
what's her last name? Because we know it's Opal and whatever her husband.
Williams. Their last name is Williams. So she's like, "Come in. We'll tell you one more time, but really, there's not much to the story other than what we've already told the agents already."
Well,
But
thank you for your time, Miss Williams. I just a couple more questions just to be thorough. You said you were out in the lake in the woods when you saw him?
We were at the TNT, and her husband comes in, and he looks like a pretty rugged kind of guy. You know, he looks like he could be out in the woods. His name again is, let me make sure I get this right. His name is Gerald.
Gerald. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he looks at you and goes, "So you're here again? Okay. What do you want to know? I mean, we've already told the story. Okay. So what do you want to know?
Did you happen to hear anything before you saw the creature?
No. We were fishing out at the TNT like we always do every weekend.
Did you hear crickets? Did you hear anything in the water? Was it complete
No.
silence?
It was normal. I mean, it was like right before sunset. I mean, there were probably crickets. It was pretty normal. It was a nice evening. It was warm. There was nothing really going on. We were about to pack up.
What'd you catch?
We caught. I'm making this up now because I don't know what's up there. We caught some brim because I don't know what to call. Brim and some catfish, and everything was great. And we were packing things up, and I was getting ready to take the boat in, and then something swooshed down on top of us. I mean, that was the big thing. She's like, "Yeah, there was a big swoosh," and then I looked up, and there was this thing swooping. It swooped down at us like it was going to attack us, and it got so close we had to jump out of the boat. And we lost our fish. It was, and he does this.
Okay, big.
Like this. It was like man size, and it had red eyes.
Red eyes. And obviously wings. Did you notice?
Well, yeah, if it was swooping, it had wings. Yeah.
And did you notice its legs?
No, I did not notice legs. I was busy diving by that point. Neither one of us did. We were both in the water, and by the time we came back up, it was already off in the shadows. By that point, the sun was like coming down to the point where it's shadows.
And when it left, which way did it leave? Did it leave to the north or the west or east of the?
It would have. Let me look at the map because I'm like, I had this figured out. Let's see. We're gonna say it went east.
East. Okay.
Yeah.
When it swooped at you, Did you feel like it was swooping, trying to hit you, or do you feel like it was swooping and you just happened to be in its way? Or could you tell?
No idea. No
Okay.
idea. It didn't attack us.
Right.
So I don't know. But I mean,
Because it sounds a little like the way bats do when bats are swooping around and they try to swoop down to the water to get bugs, and then they swoop back up, and if you just happen to be in the way, they might bump into you. So,
right.
but bigger,
yeah,
of course.
yeah. So I mean, that's as much as we have, and the only other thing that we figure it's the Mothman, but we also know that bad things happen when the Mothman comes. And our friends are like, you got to tell somebody because bad things are going to start happening. Catastrophic things are going to start happening. So we're like, okay, we'll tell, that's all we know. That's the only part that's as much of the story as we have because that's all we know that happened.
And you didn't recognize or did not get the feeling that anything was watching you or looking while you were there at the lake?
No.
All right. I think that's all my questions. I'm going to give you my card. If you think of anything else that you may have not, thought about that might be impactful, any little information can help us piece this together. But give us a call if you have any other, or anything that might come to mind.
Okay.
So hand you back to her.
All right. And they agree, and they start walking you towards the door, and then Opal looks at you as she opens the door and says, "Oh, wait. I've been having strange dreams." And Gerald pokes her and says, "Don't tell her about that. That's silly as nothing." She's like, "You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about."
Well,
Atta
any
girl.
little help or any information will help regarding this. Can you tell me what your dream was about?
I've been dreaming about a set of red fiery headlights that then that change into eyes, the eyes of the Mothman. And I hear a sound of a large engine. I don't know what that means. He's like, it means you ate too much popcorn last night. Shut up.
Do you think you'd be able to recognize the engine sound if you heard it?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's just an engine. I don't know what it even is connected to even tell you.
Is it kind of like vroom vroom, or is it? Can you give me?
Neither one of those. It's more like it's just big and loud.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the information. If I have a few sounds later, would you mind listening to them and see if they sound the same?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I will call you guys, and if you don't mind exchanging your number, I'll call you and we can set up an appointment if we hear or if we find something that might trigger that memory.
Gerald writes down the number. I don't know how this will help, but okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Can we okay, we leave. Can we look at the map again and see if there's a train station around that area?
You can look at the map. So you take a look at the map. You look at Google Maps because that's what you got. That's what I got too.
I'm actually thinking more like an aircraft, because a train would have gone chicka 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 chicka,
Right.
and a car would go rum, but an aircraft would be kind of a loud and continuous roar that
Oh,
didn't really change.
All right. The only
So,
thing you really see on the maps are highways and state roads, and that's it. There is the airport that's close, that's not so far from the TNT where you guys landed.
right.
But beyond that, there's not any really real significant railway
okay.
in this area.
Well, I say we meet up with the other two and kind of go over the few notes that we have and see what
All
we can
right.
piece together, and maybe see if they found anything while they're setting up camp.
All right. Is there anybody else you want to talk to before you go and talk to and get back up with the others since you're in town? Is there
I do
anybody else?
want to go to the museum.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was driving the others, wasn't I? I'm
You
sorry.
were.
You
I'm
That's okay.
so sorry. I
That's
forgot.
okay. You
You're
know,
fine.
that's okay. That's okay. I let it happen, so whatever.
I'll go, oh, shoot, Dr. McDonald, I got to go drive the others. They're waiting in the van. Bye.
Hi. All right. That's all right. It's my own fault too.
So where
All
did we
right.
get booted out at?
So I guess you got left at the biscuit place, y'all. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
you
fine with
drove
that. I
yourself.
mean,
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
do you want to go back with them before I go to the museum, or do you just want to go while we're here?
I think I need to go with them because I've got to drive them wherever they're going.
Okay.
So I'm.
all right. And just remember, it's a little bit of a way between Point Pleasant, and it's like maybe about 6 miles between Point Pleasant and where y'all are camping. So keep that in mind. You're gonna have to come back and pick her up.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
but then why don't we say I took them out to the camp, and then I brought Dr. McDonald back. And
That's
so
a
I'm
smart
still with
idea.
Dr. McDonald, and that way
Yeah.
then it's not crazy. So
That's right. I was like, this is gonna be really crazy. Let's see if we can like iron this out a little bit.
perfect.
All right. So
Okay,
you
so
are
I am with you.
her,
Yes.
and y'all are headed to the museum, which is pretty cool. All right. So you get to the museum, and you go inside, right? It's open now. By the time y'all get done, it's open.
Okay.
Yeah, they open at 10. So we're going to say it's open. And you walk inside, and there's stuff on the wall. There's like signs on the wall and all kinds of stuff like that. And you've got like this stuffed Mothman that's hanging from the ceiling. It's really kind of fun.
how big is it?
It's pretty big. Let's see if I can pull this up. This is worth seeing. Do this. There we go. See if he'll come up. There he is.
Oh yeah, I gotta have
Yeah.
it.
He's pretty cool. Isn't he great? Yeah, this is what the interior looks like. Let's see if I can show some of the rest of this. It's a pretty cool museum. There's the exterior. There's some of the interior. I think they've got another photograph. Yeah, they've got some more. So, yeah, they've even got a gift shop. So, I mean, this is pretty cool, all things considered.
I want to go now and buy me a plushie Mothman.
Oh yeah. Well, so it's $4.99 per entry. So you go in, and there's
We can expense that, right?
oh yeah, you can totally expense all of this. Yeah. So So yeah, you go in and there's a girl at the desk. Welcome to the Mothman Museum. You ever been to Point Pleasant before?
No.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Alrighty. Well then, you are in for a treat. It's $4.99 for entrance, but then you can look at everything. I assume you've heard of the Mothman, or you wouldn't be here.
Right.
All right. Do you have any questions, or anything specific you want to look at or learn about the Mothman?
I would like to look at the news articles because I didn't ask them when is it. Are we seeing them the night they're talking to Opal and Gerald the night after or the morning after they saw him, or has it been a couple of days?
It's been a couple of days.
So
All
I
right.
would do some research and look at the articles about when Mothman is seen compared to when things happen after they.
Okay. So, the history of the Mothman is pretty straightforward. And so the first time he was spotted was in November of 1966 in Point Pleasant at the TNT. Let me see if I can pull this up because I had all this, and then okay. So the Mothman was reportedly seen in Point Pleasant from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967. Different people saw him. The first newspaper report was published in the Register, dated November 16th, 1966, and you can see this clipping titled "Couple Sees Man-Sized Bird Creature," something. The national press soon picked up on it. So the story is two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, told police they had seen a large black creature whose eyes glowed red standing at the side of the road near the TNT area. Linda described it as a slender, muscular man about 6 feet tall with white wings. However, she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effects of its eyes. They were scared, so they drove away, and the creature flew after the car, making a screeching sound. And they were pursued until they got into Point Pleasant. Over the next few days, more people reported similar sightings. Two volunteer firemen who saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron he termed as and I love this term, a shite poke. No idea. Contractor Newell Partridge told Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at a creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. Additionally, he blamed buzzing noises from his television set and the disappearance of his German Shepherd on the creature. So bad things are starting to happen. There's a wildlife biologist that gets involved, and he claims that that what they're seeing is a sandhill crane that might have wandered out of its migration route.
Okay. So pretty much it just kind of goes from bad to worse from the time that they saw him, little things are happening around there to when the bridge collapsed.
Right, exactly. On December 15th, the Silver Bridge collapses and people die. So 46 people die.
So it went from a year from when they saw the Mothman to the bridge collapsing, but there's little things between that happened. Okay.
Right. What's interesting is there are other sightings that that happen later on that are also, people are claiming, trigger other things. Like in 1999, a sighting of the Mothman foreshadowed some bombings in Russia. In 2016, there was a photograph of the Mothman taken by a man on Route 2. On and on. So yeah. So apparently he causes catastrophic things to happen.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, great way to make a friend, right?
So, maybe ask, has anybody seen him recently?
Well, the girl that's in the museum, she kind of notices you're taking a lot of interest in the history, like like most people coming, but she's like, people have been seeing him lately.
Where at?
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No.
No,
No, I mean, are you?
I
If
hear
your
you. You're not
parents
there.
are there.
Is it all in the same area, or is there different areas?
She's like, well, I saw him. I actually saw him at the TNT, like the other night too.
The other night,
My boyfriend and I were hanging out and having a couple of beers, and we saw this figure with red eyes too.
Where at?
At the lake at the TNT.
Yeah, but can you give us like directions to where you were? Just in
Maybe.
case we want to go check him out.
Well, I guess I could. I'm working right now. Who are you anyway?
We're investigators. We're looking to find the Mothman. We're
Cool.
like paranormal investigation, cryptic investigators. I don't think
We have our iPhones. We can make a documentary.
There's some guys in black suits that were here like a couple of days ago, looking around the museum and asking questions too. They don't work for you guys, do they?
I don't
think so.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They were probably those Android guys. They film with Androids. It's not as good a video. We use the iPhones. We run into these guys all the time.
Cool. Okay. All right. My dad said they were probably federal agents or FBI, X-Files kind of guys. I don't know.
No, we're just an amateur,
We have a podcast.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I get to be on the podcast. Cool.
Oh, you want to be on the podcast? Sure, we can make that happen.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I can show you after I get off work. I can show you where we were.
That would be great.
All right.
Did you, when you saw him, was he just standing there looking at you, or did you feel like he was trying to attack you?
No, it wasn't an attack at all. It was more like, at first he was just staring at us, and then we got scared. It was creepy because the red eyes, and we got back and we ran back to the car, and then he chased us, kind of like in the newspapers. I'm like, that's him. And so we got the heck out of there, and he chased us to the highway, and then a big truck came and the lights were bright, and then he was gone. Dad says if the Mothman comes, there's something, and it's just like the newspapers say, if he comes, something really bad's going to happen. Is that true?
It could be coincidence, correlation without causation. But have you been experiencing any bad dreams? Maybe
No.
nothing out of the
Well,
normal?
I mean, after that night, I did dream about the red eyes, but I thought that was just because I was scared. I saw the red eyes again.
It was just one dream, though.
Yeah, it was just one dream.
Was there a sound in your dream?
Maybe. I don't really remember. I mean, dreams are really weird with me. Sometimes I can remember everything. This is mostly the red eyes is what I remember.
Okay.
So how big did it look?
Oh gosh. My boyfriend's 6 foot and he was taller than him.
So an upgrade from your boyfriend based on the stats you have.
Well, I mean, maybe. He might have had a better butt. I don't know.
You guys are killing me tonight.
Okay, so she says she gets off at 4.
At
She's
4?
working the entire day. Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
So
Is
I'll
there
let
a gift?
Dad know.
Is there a gift
Okay.
shop?
Yes.
I will buy
With
some.
t-shirts.
I'll buy a T-shirt.
Okay, there's t-shirts and stuffed Mothman and all kinds of nonsense, cups
Okay.
and crap. So she
I'll
sells
buy
you
a
stuff.
T-shirt from her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. Get here before the crowd gets here.
Is there usually a crowd?
Oh, there are times, yeah.
Okay.
Mothman Festival is crazy.
Sure.
I hear you got a great donut guy at the Mothman Festival.
Yeah, the donuts are real good. Yeah.
All right. We should
So-
probably regroup and
Well,
see.
is there anything in the museum we need to see that nobody ever looks at?
She doesn't really know. Everybody looks at everything as far as she knows. She's like, well, I mean, maybe my boss might know that better than me. Everybody looks at everything that's here. I don't think there's anything in the back.
When will he be in?
Let me go see. He might be in the office. Sometimes he comes in. Sometimes I just open. Depends. She goes and looks. Hey, Bobby, are you here? Hammers on a door, and he comes out. He's like, maybe mid-40s. Like,
Young
what?
whippersnappers.
Yeah. What do you want? Oh, tourist. What? Hi.
Oh, tourist, whatever. We're actually amateur cryptic finders, and we were just wondering if there's anything in here that maybe that wasn't
On display?
On display for normal people to see. Maybe we could get a little sneak peek at what you got.
Let me look and see. I'm making stuff up now, so we're off the grid now.
All right, my job is done.
He caused chaos.
Chaos ensues. He looks at you and goes, "You're not that special. Come on." He's like, "No, seriously. Everything that is important is out here.
Okay.
There's nothing hidden. Everybody." We get this question all the time. Folks, one, think they're special.
Sure.
You're not that special. 2, really, there's nothing secret here. We've put everything out that we have. We have all the clippings. We have all the stuff that we can possibly have for this thing on display. To be really honest, And don't you dare tell your dad that I said this, because I know how hard he believes in this. And to be honest, I look at this as just kind of silliness. You know, it's a good job, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy the fact that it gives this town life. It's fun. I don't know that I believe. And so this is all there is. There's just not a lot here beyond what we have that's already on display. I wish there was.
So you've never
Because
seen Mothman
I've never seen Mothman.
or anything remotely close to what could be perceived as
No.
Mothman.
No. And maybe it's because I just don't believe in it. Maybe I've been so exposed to all this that I don't care about it. I don't know. But it pays my bills. And me is kind of cool looking. So I play the game and take care of this place and take care of this little bit of history that makes these people happy.
Well, thank you for your time. I don't think I have any other questions for you. Thank you.
What just happened? There we go. All right. So the girl's name is Karen, by the way. She'll be with you at 4. She's like, I don't care what he says. I saw something. You're just a bully. He's like, yeah, but I pay you. She's like, that is true.
I'll point out the window to our van and I'll say, we'll be in that van. We'll come pick you up.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Our
I'll call my
subtle van
dad.
that says we're
Yeah. I'll call my dad and let him know so he doesn't accidentally shoot somebody.
That would be good.
Oh,
Thank you.
That would be very good. All right.
I guess I'm not supposed to blow up the witnesses yet.
Don't blow up the
No.
witnesses. No blowing up witnesses. All right. So what's the plan now? Y'all have interviewed folks. What's next?
I think we go back to the campsite and see if they found anything.
Okay. So y'all are headed back to camp. Okay, let me see something here. Let's see. Okay. So as you're going down back to camp, the captain gets a phone call, and all it says on your phone is Mr. Cold. You don't know Mr. Cold, but it's identified on your phone, Mr. Cold.
I remember that, I'm Mr. Oh, wait, wrong holiday season. Hi.
Wrong thing.
All right, fine. Terrence, I'll answer the phone.
The only thing you hear is 17 in Boston. And then it hangs up.
Well, it's not my bookie. So, all right, so 17 in Boston. Has anybody else gotten back to camp yet?
We're on our way. We're driving.
Yeah, I think I'm there. I wanted to run like tests on the area.
So should I'm going to pull up our super secret version of Google and key that in and see what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing yet. No, you don't see anything.
All right. So where are we camped out at?
You are camped out in the lovely Um,
I know we're somewhere in the TNT zone, but like,
okay, so
By them.
the interesting thing about, let me pull this out. So you are in an area that's actually like it's called the TNT area, but it's actually a park. It's like a wildlife preserve. Let me pull up this map for you so you can kind of see what we're looking at. What's really cool is McClintock Wildlife Area actually provides all kinds of really cool maps. So you can kind of see where you are. Is it going to show up? There it is. So you have the private area, which I assume is where personnel lives, like, the rangers and stuff. There's an igloo section. I have no idea what that is. And there's office and residence. And you'll notice there's like several different ponds and lakes in this area, in this wildlife preserve area, as well as some creeks. There's also some camping areas, like at Pond 3, there's a couple of camping areas, and there's some parking. And I imagine you could even, if you wanted to, you could probably go back to some of these other ponds, like, Pond 7 or whatever, and camp back there. But the actual designated camping area is at Pond 3, not too far from the igloo section.
yeah, I'd say let's go back towards some of the more distant ponds, because if it's not being seen regularly in the camping area.
Yeah.
And do we know which pond they were fishing on when they had their encounter, the Williamses?
Did you ask? Because I don't remember if you asked.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
So I guess I wouldn't know anyway.
I asked them where they were at, and they said they were fishing. I didn't know that there was more than one pond.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
but we have their number.
You can call them and always ask which pond.
Yes.
And I knew that would be kind of a mistake that you might make, because I knew there were more than one pond, but I knew you didn't know that. And I had a feeling that would be a question that you wouldn't have asked.
Yeah. No. But I do have the number, so we can call them.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we back there now so we can talk to each other?
Yeah. Yes, we're back. I drove really fast and we're back.
Okay.
The igloos were used to store munitions during the war.
Thank you. I was thinking that was it, but I had read that, but I got soft brain tonight, so.
So I'm going to call the Williams, Opal.
Okay.
And so ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Opal. I had just one quick question. We were actually down here looking at the ponds, and I was just wondering which pond you guys were fishing at when you saw the Mothman.
Oh, okay. So she will tell you that they were in, we're just going to say they know that they're numbered. It's going to make it easier. They were in pond 19, which is down towards this part of Old Town Creek, down over this direction. So they were in kind of in this lower area down here, because fishing's good down there and it's quiet. So they were almost on the edge of the line of where that. Can y'all see what I'm pointing at?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were almost on the edge of where the line of the park is. Power line is, yeah. So yeah, it would be there.
Thank you, Opal. Did you happen to give any more thought about anything that might have been happened in your dream?
She did, but she said nothing else really happened. Just that sound and those eyes, which are so terribly intense. She also it almost sounds like she leans into the phone. She's like, now, one other thing, some men in black suits came by the house. I don't remember she
Oh, wow.
mentioned that before.
She did.
I'm asking questions. Yeah. All right. So that's it. She doesn't remember anything else about the dreams.
All right. Thank you, Opal.
All right. Thank you.
So let's say we set up camp somewhere around Lake 19.
Yeah.
All right.
And these men in black, they're not with us, right?
No.
No.
You do not know who they are.
All right, we get to go hunt some men in black.
Well, maybe.
Is this an
All righty.
Are they
That's
thinking
what I was just going to say.
So I'm looking at the topo map here. If we got some cameras and stuff I can stick on top of that hill.
I mean, it's possible.
Of course. We got everything.
You got
Right,
everything.
we got everything. I'm going to go stick some active cameras on top of that hill with motion detectors.
And while you're doing that, I want to look around the area for any signs of, just to kind of take the other side of this, of large birds or like the sandhill crane kind of thing that the other wildlife biologist was talking about, just to sort of rule it out to see if, since we do have one really clear.
You're kind of like looking around and you don't see any clear evidence that that's a thing here.
Okay.
And really, logically, from the stories and everything of when those original sightings happen, it really kind of doesn't make sense that they would be there that time of year.
Yeah.
Seems a little weird. It's like they were stretching for something.
Okay. What did the caller say when he called?
17 Boston.
Let's see.
17 in Boston, something like that.
17 in Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was thinking,
you're
on 19. Maybe it was something to do with 17, but never mind Boston.
Yeah.
17 in Boston.
Too, but
yeah. All right. So y'all are getting camp set up. Y'all are looking at the possibility of sandhill cranes.
Mm-hmm. Is there a sign of any other kind of wildlife activity or?
I mean, it's normal. It's pretty normal out there. I mean, there's other wildlife that live out there. Of course, there are the fish, and there's probably some. I didn't do a lot of research. There's probably some raccoons and squirrel and things like that. I mean, it's your pretty normal outdoor wilderness kind of wildlife kind of thing. So you'll see birds. Nothing is out of the ordinary.
Okay.
It seems pretty normal. It's a normal camping area.
Okay. And this must be one of the more like remote areas, so not a lot of people?
The part that you are in is away from the normal campsites. Most people don't camp near 19, at least as far as I can tell on this map. It looks like most of the camping happens towards the front of the preserve, closer to the TNT. Okay. That seems to be where the parking is and where most of the activity is.
And I'm assuming we filled in like the rangers and stuff that were down there.
Oh yeah, they know. And they know that you're up to something and are willing to support this. They're like, it's Mothman related. And a couple of them, if you talk to the rangers, they might have stories too. Who knows? They might have seen something. But they're willing to let you look. They're kind of used to this by now. One of the rangers. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's go talk to the park rangers, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask, can we hear sounds from the airport?
You're really close to it. Of course, you can see where there's where the planes take off. I would say you could hear things from the airport, yes.
Okay.
And it's not a constant thing. It's a smaller airport. I would say,
Right.
probably not a lot of traffic, but I imagine you could hear things because, and positioned where you are at 19, well, anywhere in that area, you could probably hear the sound of the airplanes coming and going.
Okay.
Because I know personal experience living close to an airport within like 2 to 3 miles, you can hear everything.
I'm gonna, since I'm not doing anything vital right this second, I'm gonna take my phone and record some of the airplane sounds that I can hear from here.
Okay.
On the chance that I can maybe let Opal listen to it later and tell me if that's like what she heard in her dream.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, did somebody say they were going to go talk to the Rangers?
Yeah, I'll go have a chat with the Rangers.
Okay. So, you go and talk to the Rangers. What questions are you going to ask?
Well, the first, I'm gonna say, hey, we're set up in this area. Can you help keep anybody out of our zone as much as you can? We don't want to
Sure.
accidentally blow up any tourists.
You're going to be blowing up things in the wildlife preserve. They just kind of
Probably
blink at
not.
you for a minute. Probably not. Oh,
Probably
okay.
not.
Okay.
You can't ever rule it out entirely. But so
okay.
we all know you see stuff in the woods. What do you guys run into out here? Have any of you ever seen some of the fun stuff out here? What can you tell me?
Fun stuff. Are you? One of them says, "Are you talking about the Mothman?" Come on.
Well, let's start with the obvious because that's what we're here chasing, right? I'm here to blow him up.
He starts laughing. Good luck. People have tried to catch him for as long as I can remember, and that has never happened.
Well, I'm kind of laughing about it too, right? I'm like, they drugged me out here in the middle of nowhere. So, what am I hunting?
So he says, well, to be honest, I have seen the Mothman.
Okay. What's he look like?
And just like they describe him, he's 7 foot tall. He's got these big red eyes. He's mildly terrifying. And he's got big white wings. And yes, I have been chased across the lake. But you can't shoot him because he swoops away and he's gone. And when he shows up, bad things happen eventually.
So how often are you seeing him?
We haven't seen him in a really long time, but I saw him last week for the first time in about a decade. He's started showing up. Other people have said they saw him too. So, he's here.
So when my first question would be, when you saw him 10 years ago, what happened after that?
People connected him 10 years ago. After he appeared, there was a major accident over on 62 with 2 or 3 different big trucks. They just collided for no reason. There was a fog and they all collided. Like 3 or 4 truckers were killed.
Well, since you've been seeing
Eggs
him,
went everywhere.
oh, that'd be expensive now.
Yeah.
Well, since you've seen him a couple of times, number one, why'd you stay after you saw him the last time?
I'm a ranger and I like this place. And despite being afraid, I have a job to do, and that's to protect this space.
So do you think he's dangerous?
I don't know. He's never harmed me. He's chased me. I've had bad dreams about him. Has he harmed me? No.
So what kind of
He's
dreams,
never harmed anybody,
as far as you know?
as far as I know. Just
So
weird.
he just chases everybody around out in the park like a giant lab?
Kind of, maybe not like a giant lab, more like a giant moth.
So what dreams do you have about the Mothman?
The big red eyes and like some kind of weird engine sound behind him.
Like it's jet propelled?
Maybe.
Like a drone?
Maybe. I can't really tell. I wake up and most of the dream's gone, except for the eyes. I mean, you can't get away from them.
So what time of day are you usually seeing it?
Oh, it's usually at twilight or at night. I think he knows on some level that the red eyes are scariest at night.
But have you seen him during the day, or is it just, mostly
No, it's
after
at night. It's at night. It's never in the day.
So what do some of the other rangers or other tourists and stuff say about him when you see him?
Pretty much the same thing that I say and everybody else I know says. It's the same thing. He's tall. He's got these wings. He's chasing us, or he swoops down on us. I know that couple last week that ended up in the lake. We had to go help them out.
A couple ended up in the
He
lake?
swooped. Yeah. There was a couple that ended up in the lake. They were fishing and he swooped on them and they dove out of their boat because he swooped down on them. He swooped. He didn't attack them. He just swooped down on them and he was gone.
So other than the Mothman, do you see anything else out here that's weird?
Occasionally I see lights, but I mean, we're close to the airport. It's hard to know.
So what else?
Not other. How many other monsters do you think might live here?
Well, where there's one, I mean, they may come visit friends. Who knows? So
Monster convention. I doubt it.
I've been to enough towns with conventions. You never know. So is there anything else anybody like talks about town? Is there like anything that have you had anybody come out here asking questions about it other than kind of the usual tourists?
There were those guys in the black car and black suits that came by. Yeah, they were asking questions, acting real federal, and real like cloak and dagger kind of weirdness. Just like, not like you guys. You guys are real casual. These guys are like, they were like asking questions and I was just decided asking them if they were going to arrest us or something.
They give you any credentials?
Not really. They were just guys in black suits. They flashed something that looked like a badge and then started asking questions, and we're just like, yeah, okay. You're asking about the Mothman, so does everybody else in the whole world. What do you want us to say?
So
And then
anything
they
other,
hung out. Yeah, they hung out for a little while and then they left. So I don't know.
what they look like, or is it just two guys in black suits?
Two guys in black suits and sunglasses. They were pretty nondescript. They both kind of looked almost the same. But I guess when you put guys in black suits and sunglasses, they all end up looking the same, right?
So anything else you can think of we might need to know?
Not really. Other than it gets really dark back there at 19 at night, so just be aware of that. Be careful.
I'm assuming we won't see any tourists back there this time of night.
No. Most everybody camps up here because it's close to the bathrooms and stuff, and yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate it. If you think of something, you know where we'll
All
be.
right.
Come on by and have a
Alrighty.
beer.
All right, cool.
It is a fully stocked van.
I may come check you out, man. Alrighty. So it's after 4 if you want to go and pick up the girl from town to
Okay.
see if she can show you where she saw the Mothman.
Who's coming with me?
I'm going to be setting up all sorts of cameras, and we're going to set up some cameras. We're going to set up some motion detectors, and I'm going to pull out the brand new drone I've been waiting to play with.
Okay.
I'm going to go chasing the Mothman.
And I figured I'll just do some research in my little book to see what I know about the Mothman.
Okay.
All right. Well, we drive back to town.
All right. She's locking up as you get there, and there's a guy that's about her age that's hanging out waiting for her.
Okay.
And when you get there, and she introduces him as her boyfriend. We'll call him Bob because I don't know who else is Bob. And so Bob's like, "Hey, can I come along?"
Plenty of room. Come
All
on.
right.
And
So-
I introduced them to Dr. Drake since they haven't met her yet. So.
Hello. Cool. So I guess we're going to tell you about what we saw at the lake, Bob says.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. So he tells you basically the same story that Karen did. And he's like, we'll show you where the lake is, but I don't know what else we can tell you really. And he's like, and yeah, I'm having the same dream that she has. So just so you know, we think it's weird. But beyond that, there's not a heck of a lot more we can tell you.
Did
other
you
than
hear
show
any
you.
sort of specific sounds in your dream?
He says the same thing as everybody else. There's an engine sound.
Okay, but
And
he can't really make it with his mouth or anything.
no, it's kind of just a weird. He tries, but it's like you can't tell if it's like a jet. He's like it's sort of a jet, but sort of not, and it's kind of fuzzy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Same kind of thing
Okay.
everybody else has been saying,
Okay.
which is frustrating but true.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Captain, while you are setting up your thing, you get another phone call.
Terrence.
And it says N23 59 on 62.
N23 59 on 62.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And then he hangs up. It hangs up. That's it.
So I'm going to tell my folklorist, hey, we've got 2 messages now. 17 in Boston and something about 2359 on 62. Mean anything to you? So I'm looking at the map. There's a 62 here.
Yes, there's a Highway 62.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Or a Road 62. Okay. So
I forgot I muted my my mic. What did they say exactly about 62?
2359 on 62.
59 on 62.
yeah,
So does
specific.
you have
Let me
a-
repeat it. Yeah. Let me repeat it one more time just so everybody's clear about what was said. In 23, 59 on 62.
in like the number, like north?
N-I-N.
Oh,
Oh,
In.
in. Oh,
In 23.
okay.
Okay, I was thinking in as in the letter N. All right.
Yeah.
In 23, 59 on 62. So is there Highway 59 or anything that crosses 62?
Or a mile marker.
or 23.
I mean, you could look on you could look on Google Maps and see, but you know,
That's what I'm playing
I
with.
don't see anything. That seems a little bit geeky to me. Okay, so y'all get back to the TNT with the kids. They take you interestingly enough, they take you to once you park, they take you to Pond 19.
Okay.
So they were hanging out there drinking as sometimes kids do, and they were basically swooped on the same way Gerald and Opal were. And they ran.
Were they on
when
a boat?
did this happen to them?
It was maybe it was like within the same time frame. I mean, all this has happened within about a week's time.
Okay.
Roughly, yeah.
So we may get swooped on tonight.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think the hope.
Well, I got my shotguns ready.
I don't think it matter.
And a flamethrower.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, this thing doesn't seem physical. It's never been hit before or captured.
True.
There's no sign of it physically anywhere.
Do we have a trap set up for it?
I have some large animal traps I could put out.
Okay. I mean, I probably should have done that work before we came. But are we trying to capture it, or are we trying to stop whatever's going to happen?
I think it's kind of both. I don't think there's a good chance of us capturing it, although that is sort of our job.
Right.
But if we can stop whatever it's here to warn us about, that's probably the more likely outcome that we could affect, I would think.
Right.
But we can try to capture it.
Okay, so question, do any of you guys get news notifications on your phone?
Sure.
Well, I'm assuming I do because I normally do me when I'm me.
Okay, so a news notification pops up on your phone, and you read about this pileup on the interstate in Boston.
I knew it.
17 people are dead.
Well, that's a few more than usual.
Okay.
There's nothing we could have
Boston.
done. That's way too far, but
But the second one might be talking about road
Another
62
accident.
then. Yeah, and
So
that's
you got a highway.
if we assume it's talking about this road 62.
could we? I wonder, could we get the sheriff to maybe, or is it police? I don't even know. Whoever's in charge of the road, could we get them to maybe shut the road down and build a detour?
It's possible, yeah.
I mean, we could
mean,
ask.
There's more to it than 62 because
Right. What
It's-
what was the message again?
In
23,
That's got to be
In 23,
time.
59 on 62.
59
So 59 on 62 means 59 people
people
on 62.
62.
Yeah,
But
23 has got to be a measure of time, right? Like 23 hours.
23.
Yeah, so that
Okay,
doesn't tell us
yeah.
where on 62.
True.
Okay.
okay, so yeah. Karen
what-
and Bob are listening to this and they're like, Thursday night. Tomorrow
I'm
night
sorry.
it's Thursday night tonight. You know, tomorrow is it's fall, so it's still football season too.
Friday night.
Do people
Okay.
come down 62 heading for a football game?
Okay, so the only thing I can think about
Hey.
is your Friday night and you're saying football is high school football.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right?
Football's on Friday nights. So we need to see where the high school is.
Okay. So let's see if 62 goes right into Point Pleasant. If you look at your map.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it's down that way, going southwest. So, I guess a bus coming through.
Could it be the visiting team?
Could be.
I don't know who's playing tomorrow. These are guesses.
We need to
Karen
get in
says
touch
we have
with
a football. Yeah,
Wait,
we have a football game.
So the girl and boy are still with us. So can we?
They are.
Let's ask them about their high school football because they seem young, so they might still follow it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got a game tomorrow night against let me take a look. Hold on. I'm making things up now. Y'all bear with me. We got a game with York. Pansies are going to lose so bad. Yeah, we've got we usually play varsity and junior varsity. Junior varsity plays first, then varsity, plus they got cheerleaders. They got more cheerleaders than they do football players, which seems appropriate. They're tinier than we are.
How's the band?
Oh, the band rocks.
Is it a home or away game?
It's a home game for us, but not for them. They're coming to us.
So
we need to get in touch with whoever's is it. I guess it's the sheriff, and let them know that they need to reroute that football team.
That's going to be really hard to do because I'm looking at the map right now, and the first thing you run into in Point Pleasant when you come south on 62 is the high school.
So
And I'm
they'd have to
guessing
go
that's
way
where-
around.
There is no other way around. It's the only road in.
Hmm.
This is a very small town. It's just straight. It basically turns into Main Street.
Okay, my question. Okay, so if it is 59 on 62 that's going to die, what's in 23, and how is this person getting this information?
Well, 23 has got to be 23 hours, would be my guess, or something
And
like
Well,
that.
hours.
That's
59
what I was thinking.
62. Okay, that
so
makes
what time is it now?
It's about
Like 5.
23 hours. Yeah, it's about 23 hours from
Kickoff
University
kickoff.
or
Yeah.
from them teams getting in?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess
Yeah.
we take a guess that we've got about 24 or we got about 20 hours to figure it out.
Can we ask them to cancel?
And you don't
the
know
date?
who this Mr. Cold is at all?
No idea.
What happens if I call the number back?
There's actually no number listed. It's just Mr. Cold. It's unlisted. It's like unpublished. You ever get one of those calls before where you get a name but it's unpublished? Yeah, it's kind of weird like that.
So can we call headquarters and have them trace it?
You can try. You can try. Do we have anybody here on the team that's good at that tonight? Because I don't
Tech,
remember.
no.
That's not my
You have any
thing.
tech? Okay.
I'm a machinist. I'm not a
Um,
tech girl.
You're not a tech person.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm probably the
So,
closest one
Yeah,
to
you
it.
can
So.
try to call in and see if one of
Do I
your
need to-
tech team
Do I need
can
to be
do
somebody
something.
else?
You can. You can do that. I'll allow.
All right, I'm looking for the.
Let me pull
All
up.
right, Danny
Hold on.
Redmond.
Yep.
Danny Redmond is the
Okay,
tech
Danny.
guru.
Okay. Go for it.
All right, so I'm going to be Danny. So I guess I'm going to call me. Parents calling Danny.
Okay.
So, yo, Danny. So got a number or got a call here. Can you reverse this thing and tell me who's calling me or from where? And I'm going to guess you're
Go
going to
ahead and roll for him and just see. I don't think we're going to get much for this, but we can try.
Snake Eyes.
Oof.
Okay.
Second time tonight.
Nice.
No, you cannot. I imagine this causes great frustration. I mean, you can play this out if you want.
So in case this guy calls me back again, can we put some sort of tracer on? Or can you be like monitoring just in case I get another call back?
Sure.
All right, so we're going to do that. So Danny, while you're at it, we got some weird stuff down here. Can we get some satellite coverage? Sure, you can have satellite coverage. We're going to give you dedicated sats. Would you like Predator drones as well? Yes, I would.
I don't think that's going to help us.
Oh my God, I don't know that that's going to help, but okay.
You can't Predator drone the Mothman, okay? It's not just.
What? Hellfires.
Okay, we got to wrap this. All right, so okay, so it's getting to be dark.
I think the best
do?
I think the best thing we need to, because I was just hunting on the map, and yeah, you're right. There's no side roads that go all the way around. They all seem to dead end. Which who built this place? But anyway,
Built it off one road.
But I think we need to get the sheriff to maybe shut down the game, or something like that. Not have it tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
If you can convince him, that's impressive. Okay.
So I'm going to go sit on top of the van in my lounge chair with a cooler of beer and the shotgun and all the other things that go boom.
Great.
Okay.
I think if you guys want to handle talking to the sheriff, I think I want to go sit by the lake, since everybody's been at the lake when things have happened, and I'm going to do some research, see if I've skipped something about the Mothman, see if I have any hidden knowledge in my book about the Mothman.
Okay.
Okay.
And hopefully he
Um,
attacked me.
Okay. Your book doesn't tell you much more than what you've already found out. There's
Okay.
really not a lot. As after the sunset yet? Yes, sun has set. We're moving things along because we're almost done. Do you guys have you guys called the sheriff?
Yeah, I'll call the sheriff.
Okay. At first, the sheriff is like, "Who the heck are you?" And so y'all go back and I imagine y'all go back and forth for a minute.
Right.
Right.
I-
And finally, he's like, "Okay. So apparently, this isn't a joke." He got one of the boys to kind of make some phone calls, and he's like, "Okay, I will take you seriously."
Thank you.
Um,
And if I'm wrong, I'll buy everybody a beer. So
Well,
hey, that sounds like a plan. Okay, I like you. So he does what you ask. So after the sun sets, y'all are sitting there, and I guess y'all are all sitting there watching sitting there drinking beer, and you notice that you see moving lights in the sky over the TNT zone. Just lights moving back and forth. You don't know if they're from the airport or if they're something else.
I'm going to get the FLIR camera up and aim at that direction.
Okay, you can take all the pictures you want.
But they're not red lights. They're
not red.
They're
They're
just lights.
just like moving lights in the sky.
What
do
I
we
see on
hear
the
anything
infrared.
unusual?
Not really. You hear some of the airplanes and stuff, but nothing really unusual. But y'all sit there the rest of the evening. No Mothman. Next day, what do you guys want to do? You want to go to I tell you what. Next morning comes, y'all are hungry, you go back and get biscuits. Yay.
Ooh.
Everything goes well. Nothing else happens. No Mothman. Nothing happens to the buses. Everything is done. Everything is well. You guys have saved the day.
Yay!
Yay! And
But when do
you
I get to
never
blow
see
up
the
Mothman?
You don't get to see the Mothman. He's may or may not be there. He's ethereal. You don't get to blow him up.
So
Jim's gonna
couple
pout
questions
now.
Were they
I mean,
here?
if you want me to, I can bring him out and you can blow him up. Okay, but
No.
that's not what happens
That's
in the
fine.
module, and Bob will kill me.
Were they hearing the buses in their dreams? Is that what it was? They were hearing the buses.
The buzzing.
Buses.
The engine. I don't know. Maybe. It's one of those things where the goal was to save the people.
Okay.
The goal was to have nothing happen.
Yeah, and for y'all to figure out the puzzle, which you did.
Okay.
Because y'all are clever.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I will go arrange for beers for the sheriff and all of his people at the local pub before we leave town. So even though I was right.
They are happy and thankful.
Okay.
And the legend of the Mothman continues.
Yay!
And we all win. Yay. Except for Jim, who didn't get to blow up the Mothman.
He
Yeah, but
actually
we got-
didn't
next
get to
time.
blow up anything.
But we got
Maybe
delicious
next-
biscuits twice.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. So there is that. Maybe in the next adventure we'll get to blow up something.
I had satellite coverage. I had a predator drone.
I will say
Hey, that was your choice, man.
You
did
and
the
Danny.
pictures ever show? He took pictures, but did they ever show what it was?
You took pictures, and basically, when they came back, I mean, they look like They look like every other photograph of lights that might be aliens.
I'm gonna guess that whoever was making those phone calls is from like Men in Black. That was from Men in Black, and like
probably
investigating this as alien activity.
Well, see, here's the thing. My picture reveals the truth. I am the Mothman. So
Yes.
Oh no!
Cuckoo, Jim.
Inside the whole time.
All right. Thus ends our adventure with Team Charlie once again. All of you get phone calls from command going, "Great job, guys." There's a box of beer sent to you. Thank you so much.
For something that may or may not have really happened.
Right. Well,
we saved the cheerleaders.
Save the cheerleaders, you save the world.
Yes.
All right, let's go around one more time because I know Sean would want me to do this. Our real cryptid in the mist, Sean, wants us to do this. Let's go around one more time and tell everybody where we're going to be coming up, and if we've got anything coming up. I guess we'll start with Tiffany and just go around.
Okay. You can find all my books on Amazon, but if you want to come out and meet me in person, I will be at JordanCon this weekend.
Easiest way to find me is at jamespnettles.com. That'll take you to my books website. It'll take you to a bunch of the different projects. It'll take you to Continual. It'll take you to Creating Prose. It'll take you to Author Essentials workshops, and should have some other new stuff coming up shortly. So not too hard to find me. Unfortunately, I'll be missing JordanCon this year. But I will be at Con Carolinas in a few weeks.
All right. You can find me at my website, sgtosh.com. I can never get the angle right. That's where all my social media and everything is. My next live event will be at Enemies and Lovers in Mesa, Arizona. And that is on the 9th and 10th of May.
And you can find me on the interwebs at mistymassey.com and on all the best social media. And if you want to see me in real life, weekend after next, I'll be at Atomicon in Charleston, South Carolina. And then in July, I'll be at Congregate in Winston-Salem. So come on out and tell me hey.
And I should be at Atomicon as well. I forgot. I don't know why I keep forgetting it's here.
Awesome.
Because you're old.
Yeah, senile, gray.
All those things. You can find me at jessicanettlesauthor.com. You can find me this weekend, not at JordanCon, sadly, but at Cobb Spring Fair on Saturday, if you're in Cobb County and you will come see me. On Sunday, you can find me at, what does she call it? At the Alpaca Farm in Douglasville. There's the Alpaca Spring Fest, and we will be there selling bookmarks and all kinds of books and crocheted things. Come out and find us and buy our things.
Coolness.
Yes. And as always, it's always time to go indie now. See you next time.
Thanks.
Yay!